Hi, welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Lansing. I'm Reverend Sharon Ketchum, bringing you this week's inspirational message. We are courtesy of COVID-19, which is ensuring that we are physically distanced, but we can still be spiritually intermingled. And the first thing I want to do today is just take a moment to recognize that this is the 30th anniversary of the ADA Act, signed into law. ADA is Americans with Disability. And to celebrate all those Americans that do not let any differences of abilities hamper them from achieving all that they can achieve. They really reach into their potential. So we're just happy that we've collectively made our world a little bit more inclusive for everybody. We're going to start out today's service with a new piece of music from Watkins Jr. It's called This Day, and I think you're going to enjoy it. So feel free to clap and sing along and dance.
No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you've come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you, the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you. If there's some kind of trouble or pain you're going through, know that you are not alone and someone cares for you. As an individualization of divine point of view, this door is open to you. This door is open. This door right here, this door is open for you. This door is open to you. This door is open. I'm talking about this door. This door is open. I said this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white or gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Yes, this door is open to you. Oh, love that song. That's just a wonderful way to open our heart for this morning. We are continuing a story that we actually started last week. You might remember our friend the turtle had a little tumble down a hill and ended up landing upside down, which for a turtle can be really the death knell because they can't turn themselves over. And who shows up to talk to him but Yoda? Because you see, the turtle's complaining that it wasn't his fault that he slipped on this rock. And the turtle goes, or Yoda says, well, certainly it must have been the rock's fault then. And they have this great conversation. And what we find out that happens that the turtle learns a great lesson from this. He learns that because he made a choice, he got to choose his own path. And when we choose our own path, sometimes the outcome is different than what we expected. But there's these gifts when we make that choice, because we always have that power to discern. Okay, let me pull up a slide from last week. Just to get that on there. There we go. The gifts turtle of the accident. We have the power to choose. He chose his own path. And we also have the ability to respond. So whether he's going to lie there and be absolutely afraid, and from the beginning he was closing his eyes, when he opened his eyes, he got to really discover some new things. He actually got to see the sky for the first time, because as a turtle he was always looking down, and he got to see these little specks in the sky, something that we call birds. So we just find out that even though we may not get the outcome we want, there's always gifts, and especially important gifts when we really choose our own path, make our own way, no matter what those things are. So as the turtle over here continues to lie on his back, he says to our Yoda, what are those little spiky things up there in the sky? And Yoda says, well, those are trees, pines, firs mostly. He goes, oh, the turtle goes, they're not trees. I see trees all the time. They're these brown things, big bulky things that are in my way. And Yoda says to him, no, now you're seeing the rest of the tree. You're seeing the rest of the story. And, you know, for me, I was thinking about, it's kind of like this whole world now in a pandemic. We've been looking in a certain direction, a certain way. And now that we're all upside down, we get to see the world a little differently. So in some ways, it seems the pace is different. It's a little slower. Somehow the calendar and clocks don't seem to matter as much right now. And we too get to look at things a different way. We might even recognize what we're seeing at first. But we do have this great opportunity to have a new viewpoint. And so Yoda explains to him that the turtle has seen trees before. And in fact, some of them he may have even eaten, because trees start out as a seed. And in that little tiny seed is the whole tree. And of course, the turtle wouldn't have known that when he was eating it. So he got to explore this wonderful idea of trees. And Yoda explains to him that trees have a place of honor in the universe. This place where they are planted for as long as they occupy it, they honor that place. This is their place in the universe. And so the lesson that we learned from the tree is this lesson of honor and what that means. And a creature, whether it be a tree, an animal, or a human, honors itself by realizing its potential. For the tree, it's that ability to soar up into the sky and be majestic and supply housing for birds and shades for other plants and humans. There's also an honor in discovering our place and unique purpose in the world, in the universe. You and I each need to honor ourselves by discovering that passion, that purpose, that potential, that reason that we were put here on Earth. Okay, now come closer a minute because I want to tell you something. Yeah, just get right up close there to the screen. You are a person of value. You are unique. You're beautiful inside and out. You are an unrepeatable event in the universe. And you are of infinite worth. Yes, you are of infinite worth. I hope you take that to heart. That you are an unrepeatable event. You are worthy. You are inherently beautiful. You are what the stars are made of. You are a creation of God itself. You are valuable. And the universe, this entire universe would not be the same without you. So, say you have all these wonderful things. How do you discover your purpose? There's a story of a church that put in some new sidewalks, and the kids kept walking across the lawn, and they were getting so frustrated they put up signs, they tried everything. Finally, somebody suggested, why don't we make the sidewalk where the kids walk? Well, that's what they did, and of course, no more problem. They didn't walk on the grass. And sometimes our life is the same. It's like we're being forced to walk on these pre-laid out sidewalks, not where we want to walk. It's so important for us to make our own path. There is no prescribed way of going. The prescribed way, if there is one, totally comes from our heart. It's what our purpose is. It's what drives us, what makes our heart sing, our potential wanting to burst forth, and all those things that we love, that excite us, that bring smiles to our face. There's like this natural course of life within us, and all too often circumstances, things we've heard seem to kind of hurt us into a straight and narrow that may not be where our heart wants to beat. Did you know that horses are always born at night so that they can run with the herd in the morning? Yeah. However, the horses, well, anyway, the tamed horses anymore don't run with the herd, but the horses are still born at night because that's that kind of innate setup that they have within their being. Being a horse means you're born at night, wanting to run with the herd in the morning. So too, we have innate abilities, innate talents. Hafiz the poet said, I wish I could show you, when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your being. I wish I could show you, when you're in darkness, the astonishing light of your being. So to honor ourselves, first we really need to know who we are. It's that wonderful journey of self-discovery. I think it's a journey that never ends. We're always discovering new parts of ourselves. We may like something we didn't know we liked because we had never tried it before, whether it's playing guitar or skydiving or jogging or quilting, whatever that might be. Honoring ourselves by taking that time to find out who we are. And this is a great time to kind of self-indulge and really think about, what do we like to do? Who are we? What really captures our attention and engages us in ways? Kierkegaard tells a story of this make-believe town that was totally inhabited by ducks. And the ducks waddle down to church for their Sunday service. And the minister duck is up there going, ducks, you have wings. You have the life of eagles. Because God has given you wings. There are no fences, no land animals that can find you or trap you. Ducks, God has given you wings. Fly like an eagle. And all the ducks said, amen. And then they waddled home. They didn't believe. They didn't believe. Now, ducks aren't meant to fly like eagles, but ducks are meant to fly. They do have wings, and their wings will take them over fences. But they need to be able to put that idea into action. So is it with us. I can tell you that you are worthy, that you are wonderful, that you are beautiful, that you are unique and unrepeatable in this universe. But it's not enough for you to hear it from me. You need to believe it in your heart. And believe it in your heart in such a way that you stop waddling home from church, that you spread your wings and try that new thing. Because every time we try something, even if it's not the thing, what happens is we may find something else that we like, or another aspect of ourselves, or something that we can totally take off our list. We thought that'd be interesting to try, and when we try it, maybe not so interesting. And that's okay too. Every step brings us a little bit closer. It's like every now and then we'll get that impetus to move on. We'll get that glimpse of the truth of our being, that Christ within us, that light, that astonishing light that we are. And we go, wow. And then we fall asleep. It's like we fall asleep again to the truth. It just is so incredible to our humanness to really embrace our divinity. So what is your gift? And are you sharing it? Think about, you were born into this world, and I believe all life is brought into this world to bless the planet. And each of us bless it in different ways. And sometimes when I talk about purpose, people think it's some high, mighty, lofty goal. But our purpose is so often centers around, my purpose is to be kind. My purpose is to be loving. My purpose is to connect people. My purpose is to understand others. Personally, my mission statement is to embrace, empower, and inspire that potential and passion in myself and in others to help people really fully express who they are. There's a wonderful story about this bus driver down in New York who sings. He's a singing bus driver, and his passion is to sing. And they've asked him, why are you a bus driver then? He goes, because I get a captive audience every day. There are people that will line up to get on his bus to hear him sing. But I really think they line up to get on his bus to be in the presence of his passion, to be in the presence of somebody who is doing what they are so passionate about, whether it's planting flowers or arranging flowers, or whether it's making phone calls to somebody to make those connections, those people that really their passion is to share love with one another, to make that heart-space connection. Or, they're just, each person's passion is so unique and it's unique to them. It's not about attaining a high, lofty outer goal. It's not about attaining renownedness in our world, about having a statue created of you, or to get some kind of medal or headline in the paper. It's about simply living the beat of your heart. That's what I call passion, the beat of your heart. Buddha says, your work is to discover your work, and then with your heart, give your whole self to it. Discover your work and give your whole self to it. So what would you do today if you knew you only had 6 months to live? And granted, in the condition of the world, who knows? For any of us, we may only have 6 months left to live. We weren't created to be somebody else. We weren't created to walk on a sidewalk, a path that was created by others, society or parents, whatever that might be. And the degree that we get in touch with our own passion, to the degree that we get in touch with that divine within us, that Christ presence, that spark of divinity, whatever name you want to call it, that place where there's utter peace, to the degree we get in touch with that is the degree that we'll be able to express peace, to really express joy, to be authentic in our own life, doing whatever it is that we're doing. But we are doing it in our own way. Frank Sinatra, right? I did it my way. Each of us, that's what we're called to do it our way, to do it to our own heartbeat. It's said that the purpose of life is to live a life of purpose. And sometimes it's really trying on different things to see what our purpose is. You may have heard the story of Alfred Nobel. His brother died, and accidentally the paper ran the obituary about him instead of his brother. And when he read it, he was mortified. They called him the King of Dynamite because he had created dynamite. And when he read that, because dynamite is so destructive, he made a commitment right there to change how he was perceived in the world, really to walk his talk. And what he did then was to start the Nobel Peace Prize. So instead of being the King of Dynamite, he was known for rewarding and honoring, shining the spotlight on those people that are making huge differences in literature, in science, in humanity. Just a wonderful thing to strive to. And none of us, when we hear Nobel, think of dynamite. No, we think of the Nobel Peace Prize, the Peace Prize. What a wonderful way he was able to shift how people perceived him and how he perceived himself, which is really the ultimate thing, that instead of being that businessman who was the architect of destruction, right? And he became the founder of the Nobel Peace Prize. For each of us too, as we're looking at our purpose, and maybe we think we found it and we're doing those things that make us happy. And if you want to check, all you need to do is look at your Google Calendar or calendar on the fridge, whatever. Calendars don't lie. They tell you where you're spending your time. Another way to look at it is to look at your credit card statement, where you're spending your money, where you're investing your money. Is it for things that bring you joy, that really help you fulfill acts of kindness, of connection? Are you spending your time the way you'd like to spend it? And granted, there's some things that are ours to do that are responsibility. But there's also a responsibility to spend our time doing those things that bring us peace, that bring us joy, that allow us to be totally authentic in our expression on this world. Did you know that when a rocket goes off, it's only on course 2% of the time? The rest of the time is making course corrections. And so it is with us. In our life, we may only be on track 2% of the time. We may only, in fact, I think 2% is generous. I think about how many moments do I have where I just go, wow, I just really feel my divinity. I just feel I'm so on course. I just feel I am on the path of my passion. Those moments of enlightenment, those aha moments, those moments of just divine interconnectedness. And the rest of the time, we're simply course correcting, always bringing us back to heart, always bringing us back to the Christ consciousness, always bringing us back to our purpose to live a life of purpose. When we're looking for that passion, it's really what excites us, what calls to us, what just captures our attention, our curiosity, It might be studying words. It might be just learning a new language, speaking of words. For each of us, it's different and unique. The actual way it expresses may not be the same through our whole life, but the important thing is to be able to keep the passion focus throughout our whole life, even when the outer activity may change in it. So what does Spirit want to express through you? What does Spirit want to express through you? There's a wonderful story about Tilly, who had this canary, a really unique canary. This canary, for some reason, every time she vacuumed, the canary sang. He sang arias. He was fabulous. And she's vacuuming one day, and the bird is just in its height of song as he goes on and on, singing away. It was like he was doing a duet with a vacuum cleaner. And Tilly's listening to it and doing what she's doing, and without looking, he was sitting on top of the curtains, and she took the vacuum of the curtain, cleaned the dust off, as you sometimes do, and all of a sudden she saw this flash of yellow go right into the vacuum cleaner. Oh my goodness, she goes. She thought for sure he was dead, but she could hear him singing. And she stopped the vacuum cleaner. She opened it up. She opened up the dust bag in there, and out he jumped, still singing at the top of his lungs. Even though he had no feathers left, he was still singing because that was his passion. That's a way to live life. Wow, I so strive to be in that set of singing my song, even when I get sucked into the vacuum cleaner, into the dirt bag, that nothing stops me from singing, that I still continue and go on and on and on. So, our spiritual practice for this week, the gift of the tree, if you will. The gift of the tree is honor. It's really about singing our song, knowing that whatever the world needs is what we have to give. And that ever we have to give is what the world needs. It's wonderful how that works out. And I hope you will stay around to join us for a meditation. Meditation from a tree. Trees have lots of messages for us, but today it's going to be about enjoying that internal message that each of us get from listening to that still small voice within. We're going to come to that time of we celebrate our prosperity, celebrate our abundance, and it's with such deep gratitude and appreciation that I bless all of the donors that continue to support the spiritual community. Though we don't meet in person, we connect so many ways, spiritually, virtually, online, letters, phone calls. I know so many people have made friends within the community, and this community still lives and thrives by connecting with each other. So thank you so much for continuing to support this base, this core of unity here in Lansing. And just a reminder that our congregant's choice for this half of the year is Punks with Lunch, Rise, and the Sunrise Movement. So we're supporting some really great organizations during this time. And I'd like to take a moment to invite you to be grateful, to come up with that gratitude for all the wonderful things that have come into your life this week. A special phone call. Maybe you found a dime on the sidewalk. Maybe you saw a beautiful sunset. I don't know what happened, but I know there was good that happened. That just to invite you to take it into your heart right now, just to appreciate that this is the passion of the universe showing up in your life. That's why we have that same purpose, to show our passion out to the universe itself. And so as we bless the gifts we've received, the gifts that we share, we affirm together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I praise, give thanks, and am glad. And so it is. Amen. Unity is available on demand. You can watch the opening. This is our message, Gifts from the Tree, and there is a meditation. And if you're watching this on Sunday, join us for a little Zoom fellowship time. You bring your own coffee. God bless. I know you'll have a fabulous week, and you will do amazing things. And we'll join with our normal closing song, I Choose Love.
is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose